Hey guys, it's Pineapple. Being the leader of N.E.R.D's, Nebraska Elden Ring dudes, I think it's part of my duty as a top 0.03% veteran Souls player to explain what my organization is, how we get paid, why people pay so much, and why people are fined in almost every one of my boss fights. So a little background, I am the founder and owner of N.E.R.D's, Nebraska Elden Ring dudes. And we are an organization that specializes in Souls games with story knowledge, map knowledge, lore, fighting mechanics, boss fights, really anything that has to do with these games. And we are known as mercenaries or swords for hire, in which we will run the game for you so that you can show your friends and family how good you are at this game. For those of you who are familiar with my TikToks promoting this, you will know that I get a lot of hate because a lot of people say that I'm overcharging people and scamming. And first and foremost, I want to let everybody know that I do have a AAA rating with the Get Better Business Bureau. So I don't know where the scam is coming from with that, but I have a plaque on my wall that says I'm a trustworthy business. So take it up with them. Second, before we go into any sort of a area or a boss fight, I make sure that people get a copy of our contract in which we have our own terms and services to let them know what they're going to be charged for and why. So it should come as no surprise to them why they get some giant bill that no one can afford. One of my Twitch subs reached out to me on stream and asked if I could help them with Mohg. They wanted to do the Mohg in the rune farming area, but I told them that that was too far away from where I was at, so we had to do it over here. So let's go over a little bit of our pricing for this particular fight. So the first, because this is Mohg, it's $1,000 flat. There's also an hourly rate of $72, and this fight took about an hour and 45 minutes because they didn't have the area explored. So that comes to $126. Throughout this entire encounter, he wasted my time twice where I was able to teabag, and it's $14 per teabag. He also wasted my time just in general, so that's another $200. He asked me to do this while I was streaming, which is just really disrespectful when you're as big of a streamer as I am, almost to the influencer level. So there's a going rate of $890 for that kind of a fine. And then finally, because we're running through the pipes in the capital city, I have to get a plumber's license. That's a little known fact that a lot of people don't know about, but it's $72 in my municipality. So before we even get the area explored or get to the boss fight, we're already sitting at $2,316 that they will owe me at the end of this fight. Now that we've finally got this shortcut unlocked, you're going to see that I do use the sever finger and I go back to my world. Because there's a resummoning in here, I do charge an extra $67 per summon, which we will recount during the entirety of this series. So right now we're sitting at $2,383 after that resummon. Now this one is buried in the fine print because it doesn't happen very often, but when we are invaded and I have to fight another person because I have to start sweating and trying, this is an additional $752 per fight, which brings our grand total right now to $3,135. I hope that you guys are all following this and that you think that this is fair. I know that some of these numbers seem a little inflated, but we are dealing with a potential recession and inflation right now, so I need to hedge against that. Unfortunately for this client, he does end up getting defeated there, which means not only am I going to be resummoned, but he's going to have to also reinitiate the boss fight. So that's an additional $1,000 for him and another resummon for me, which now brings our total to $4,202 thus far. We haven't even gotten to the boss arena yet, so you can kind of see where these bills kind of add up while I'm doing these runs. Now, you may be wondering, Pineapple, a couple questions. One, why are you just wandering around the sewers without really knowing where you're going if you claim to be an expert? First of all, I'm not a plumber. I don't know my way around this area. I'm an expert in the game, not the design. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that. Second is, I did offer to do voice chat with this client for $5, and they said no. They wanted to save their money there, so more props to them. However, as we're running through this area, you will see that I do tag on a second wasting my time fine because he's just kind of standing around and not really doing anything right here. He was trying to show off his little cool Ash of War on just a basic mob, which kind of concerned me that this is going to be a long boss fight, but, you know, I digress. This area of the game is really frustrating to me because it is kind of hard to navigate. It kind of goes away from the Elden Ring open world design and goes back to the other Souls games where it was more of a dungeon explorer. But after you've run this area a couple times, you kind of start to figure out where you should be going. In a little bit, you're going to see that this client definitely should have opted in for the voice chat for $5 because he's going to go the wrong way and I'm not going to know, and I'm going to get to the right area, and then he's just going to be standing there looking like a dumbass because he's in the wrong area. This was another no-no. This is actually an optional boss fight that he did not inform me that he wanted to do with the giant flower here. Optional bosses are another $1,200, so because he's making me engage with this, this now brings the total to $5,602 so far. I did not come prepared to fight the death frogs or the flower with his poison. So you'll see here that I'm just kind of contemplating how to approach this. He opts just to go right in, and I need to save him to make sure he doesn't need to be resummoned again. So I also go in. You might be questioning why I'm running a bleed build against a flower that doesn't bleed, and I'm just going to tell you that he did not inform me we were going to do this optional boss, so I was kind of caught off guard here. I'm not really good with curveballs like that, so that's an additional $172 for a curveball. Here's another example of him wasting my time. I got up the ladder, ended up sitting here. I did have to cut about 15 minutes of running through the pipes out of here, and with this additional wasting of time, it's another $200. So even before getting into the last stretch here, we're sitting at $7,754 that they're going to owe me. After unlocking the shortcut to go back to the original Grace, he ended up summoning me back in, which was another $67. And this was where the most egregious wasting of my time charge is going to be applied. He didn't follow me through the pipes where we need to unlock this shortcut, and instead went back to the other side. And because he's the host, I can't open this, but I'm on the correct side, so I assessed him with another wasting my time. However, now we do know where to go, and we do get to the elevator that takes us to the last Grace right before the Mohg fight, so we can actually get into the battle itself. Client is currently sitting at $7,821 that they're going to owe me at the end of this. I do think it is money well spent. These areas are pretty difficult to traverse, and the bosses are really challenging. So if you want to have those trophies, if you want to have those achievements, be able to talk about this with your friends and family, sometimes, you know, you got to... So after a long time of exploring, we finally get to the ladder that's going to lead to the jar room that has the elevator down to that side of Grace. I do help him clear this out really quick. I am pretty knowledgeable in how to destroy jars. He does help me a little bit on these, although he really didn't need to. I don't think there was any question in anybody's mind whether or not I could best these jars. But this is probably the worst part of the entire encounter. Apparently this person was never raised to hold the elevator door, and so it would force me to fall to my death, which there's several fines that we need to assess here that I'm going to go over. The first fine is obviously resummoning me for $72. The second is embarrassing me. That's $25. But then the most egregious is the disrespect, and that's $117. Going into this fight now, we're sitting at $8,030. But now I get to show off why you would pay this much money for someone to come in and fight a boss in Elden Ring for you. Well, there's several reasons. One, I'm going to hold aggro. Two, I'm going to have high-level weapons. But even with all that, I cannot save you from yourself. So unfortunately, we're going to have to resummon the host again, which is another $1,000. Which is pretty unfortunate, but at this time he did opt for me to buff his stats for another $1. So prior to this, we're sitting at $9,031. I do enjoy the Mohg fight. He's got a couple cool moves like that, where he just throws Kool-Aid at people. Well, fun fact, Kool-Aid was found in Nebraska, where I'm from. Nebraska Elden Ring dudes, nerds for short. I should actually charge you, the viewer, $15 for that fun fact, but I won't. I appreciate the view. I appreciate you being this far into the video. It is absolutely insane to me how much this game is mostly based on like your weapon stats and not your level stats. I'm struggling just as much against him on this character that's level 204 as I am on my soul level 1 run. We kind of reversed course with this one where I said, hey, I held aggro last time and you died, so how about this time you hold aggro and I won't die. But I want to make sure that my client is getting their money's worth. And so I let him go heal. I get punched in the face a few times. Trying to hold the aggro, which doesn't work. So I back up a little bit. I'm trying to get some space here. This is a big dude inside a little church. Missed my Ash of War. Classic. And it's about right here that it dawns on me. I'm not using my items to the best ability. I forgot. I can use Mohg's Shackle here. And so I want to throw the Kool-Aid at him real quick, get some distance. And then I'm going to do a quick swap with the items. I'm going to heal real quick. But then I'm going to pull up the menu. I'm going to pull up the menu. I'm going to pull up the fucking menu. I'm going to pull up the menu. I'm going to lag. And then I'm going to go pull. Okay, I already switched it. So I got Magritte Shackle ready to go. I actually need Mohg Shackle because I'm bad. I am going to deduct $500 from me being stupid. So we shackle him to the ground here. Shackle him a second time. Do a whole bunch of damage to him. And then I do the unthinkable. I let the host let me die. Which, if you read the fine print of my terms and services, my TOS for short, that's a $1,250 fine. I know it's more than the actual boss itself, but I have a business to run. So I told him, hey, I haven't cleared this area. I tell you what, I will take away that last fine, the $1,250, if you come help me run Mohg. So he does. So I go in to initiate this fight. I forgot that the fog gate doesn't exist for me. Kind of got confused there for a minute. I summon in the bees, trying to bleed this guy out. I remember Mohg Shackle is equipped, so I use it. Use my my giant hunt a couple times. I keep forgetting it's not my thrust. It's not going to break any poise for him. I don't think it might. I'm not going to take the time to read that one. He pulls aggro for me, which is really nice. So I'm just going to sit back, let my summon do a little bit of work there. We shackle him again. Quick thinking from my client. Just sticking with the good old trusty giant hunt. He tries to swipe me. Anyone wondering, that's where I got my Talon swipe that I use in PvP all the time, and the Kool-Aid attack. Both of these are really fun PvP attacks to use. I'm just guzzling down Estus Flax right now because I keep getting punched in the face. My summon is half health right now, so I'm trying to pull some aggro over here. Classic giant hunt. Then get punched in the face twice, so I have to go back and heal. Classic heal, get punched in the face, so I have to heal again. Because I got some distance here, I'm like, hey, I'm going to try shackle him again, forgetting that you can only do it 2 times per match. We already used it twice, so that failed. Go right back to doing a giant hunt into him 2 times. We got him pretty low here. Classic, I get punched in the face again, so now I'm going to have to go heal. Luckily, my summon took the brunt of that, so I was able to pull out Rivers of Blood. Classic me. When in doubt, Rivers of Blood. Then get punched in the face again. I'm now frantically running, and my thought is, I need to heal, I need to heal. So I pop 1 heal. Down to 1 flask. He's low on health. We go right back to the Naginata. And I ran out of my FP. Quick dodge right there. My summon did die, and because now I'm going to have to solo this boss, I do assess the $1,250 back so he does not get that discount. But of course, no one's going to doubt this. I do beat Mohg. I get the Sight of Grace. This client will be charged $9,781 for this entire encounter. For about an hour and a half of my time, it's a decent amount of margin. And for those of you who made it this far in the video, thank you. I'm going to try to do more long forms of these. I thought it was really fun. I'm trying to get more time to do these kinds of summons with people. And extend on this joke of charging people way too much money. I'm sure anybody who actually hates this didn't even read past like the beginning of this. But leave a like, leave a comment. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good day.